guys, today we're going to take another look at fractions on number lines. Our focus for today is to locate numbers on a number line and use those number lines more effectively to help us to compare fractions and also to just identify the parts that make up a whole. Let's take a look. So I'm going to show you an example from our book. And as you could see on this example, I have outlined the whole, just as we did a week ago. Now, outlining the whole helps me to see how many parts it takes to make the whole. And I see that my denominator's in 3, so I know that my fractions should be thirds. So I'm going to draw some nice even pieces to show thirds. And now I can clearly see the 3 parts to make a whole. Now the direction said write the distance the triangle has moved along the number line. So that's assuming the triangle started here at 0.0 thirds and moved a length and stopped here. Now that I have it in fraction pieces, I could see how many thirds it has covered. So this part right here is 1/3 covered. And if I go all the way to the triangle, I see that it has covered 2/3. 2/3. Very simple. Let's take a look at another one. Look at B. I'm going to first analyze it. I see it goes to 6/6, and I'm going to outline the whole so that I could see it as fraction strips. Okay. And the 6 in the denominator tells me I need 6 equal parts. They've already done part of that for me. If they didn't, I would have to divide this into 6 equal parts. So I'm going to draw some solid lines through my tick marks. And I'll make sure that I have 6 parts there. So I have starting point 0/6, 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, 6/6. Now I can clearly see how far the triangle has traveled. It has traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the way. So my answer would be 5/6 on the line. Okay. So now, boys and girls, we are going to identify or locate fractions along number lines. This is the part that's a bit of a review for you. And if you still need to take out your fraction strips, go ahead and do so. So the instructions say the whole on the number lines below is the distance between 0 and 1. Partition, that means divide, separate. Partition each number line to locate and then label the given fraction. Hint, on some number lines, there is more than one whole. So you need to be careful because you always want to identify what the whole is. So now, the very first thing I want to do is identify my wholes on all of these number lines. And then I'll get started with where my fraction will fit, okay? So on this first one, the whole takes up the entire number line, okay? And now it says I need to locate 1/3. That means I need to partition this into 3 equal parts. So if I'm going to partition it into 3 parts, I need to come off center to create 3 parts. So that means that this first part from here to here would be 1/3. From here to here, well, from here to here is 2/3, and then another piece put together is 3/3. So now I've located my 1/3 on the number line. So you would do that by putting a dot right on the number line, okay? To let your teacher know you know exactly where 1/3 fits, okay? Now, if you do not need to draw the strips on top, you do not have to. I'm only doing that for people who need a strategy to be accurate. Let's do 2/6. First, I need to identify the whole. And just like the last one, the whole takes up the entire number line. That won't be the case all the time. Okay, this time I need to divide the line into 6 parts. To do that, I'm going to start by dividing it into thirds, matching it with the fraction above, and then I'm going to cut each third in half. This is my strategy. I don't have to do this on that number line. I can just partition a number line without seeing it as strips, but this is a strategy for those who need to see the rectangle version of it. Now, I can label each part of this whole. So from here to here is 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, 6/6. So the part that I needed to identify was 2/6. That's right here. And I'm going to put a dot on the number line. Look at what I notice. 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6. That's because if I draw 2 number lines the same exact length, and I divide this one into 3 equal pieces and this one into 6 equal pieces, if I mark 1/3, it's going to stop in the same location as 2/6. Look at this. If I drag my fingers from 2/6 straight up to 1/3, it stops at the same place. Do you see that? Okay, let's take a look at a challenge problem. Look at this number line. The very first thing I need to do is identify the whole. The whole on this one does not take up the entire number line. However, I need to partition it into thirds. And when I count, I need to count out 8 thirds. So let me go ahead and partition this whole into thirds, 3 equal pieces, and label my pieces. So this is 0 or 0/3, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Well, I don't have enough. I need 8 thirds. So therefore, I need to divide the other whole. So I'm going to take this second candy bar that's sitting side by side, and I'm going to partition it into thirds. Okay, so now I have another candy bar. Instead of starting over saying 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, I'm just going to keep counting my thirds. So this is 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3. Do I have enough to identify 8/3? No. That means I need to go ahead and partition a third candy bar. Okay, and label it 7/3, 8/3, 9/3. And if you notice, 9 divided by 3 is 3, so I know I'm accurate. So I needed to identify 8/3. It is right here. So on my number line, I can put a dot right there. Do you notice how this hole is much smaller than the pink hole? The pink hole takes up the entire number line. The green hole right here does not. Okay? So boys and girls, this is how you locate fractions on a number line. What you're going to work on now is in your math journals, you're going to do 7-9 in your math journals, and then you'll be able to check your answers tomorrow with your teacher. Thank you, boys and girls.